Bitter cold temperatures have gripped much of the eastern United States for more than a week. Let's now take a look at how exactly countries are coping with a frigid temperature spell. Severe weather was recorded at the peak of New Hampshire's Mount Washington over the past 2 days. Mount Washington Observatory recorded, in fact, wind chill temperatures as low as minus 39 degrees Fahrenheit, making it as the second coldest place on Earth for that day. Bitter cold has also gripped much of the United States of America since the New Year. Forecasters have said it'll last another day and there will be relief from the frigid spell. Up to 70 kilometers of motorway between Madrid and the nearby Segovia in Spain were blocked by snow-trapping drivers returning home from the holiday season. Between 3,500 and 4,000 drivers were forced to spend the night on the motorway. The drivers were finally rescued by Sunday. Spain's emergency services workers had to battle snowdrift in order to free the stranded drivers. Heavy snowfall across China has caused massive difficulties in the country. However, Jiangsu province is attracting many tourists to see the winter sweet tree in full blossom and also to see the ancient architecture full of snow. The site has been in fact turned into a scenic spot for visitors who want to pay tribute to Zhou Enlai, who is one of the founding fathers of New China. And we stay with the weather, but ironically we are talking about the opposite side of it. In fact, Australia's Sydney has experienced its hottest temperature in nearly 80 years. The temperatures in the region hit as high as 47.3 degrees Celsius. Several fire warnings have been also issued, with a total fire bans put in place. Local authorities have advised the residents to beat the heat by staying well hydrated and out of the sun. Also, all the tourists visiting Australia nowadays were warned to take extra care while swimming and not leave children or pets unattended in vehicles. And joining us on the broadcast to talk more about the cold weather, we have our bureau chief in London, Mandy Clark. Good evening, Mandy. Thank you very much for joining us. So what is the situation? I understand there is severe cold even in Spain, for instance. People have been forced to spend the night on the highway because rescuers were struggling with the snow.
Absolutely. It's not just the US, of course, it has had the most dramatic weather, but we're seeing it pan across Europe. Even the UK, it's noticeably colder here. Now, some climate change deniers say this is proof that global warming isn't happening, but speaking to a scientist when it comes to weather, this is expected when we see these extreme weather events. We're seeing a lot of extreme weather in the States, we're seeing it in Australia, and that is more indicative of global. In the United States is looking at the jet stream and these Arctic blasts that are coming down. Is this fluctuating the jet stream? And the scientists I spoke to linked that to climate change. And so although we normally associate climate change with heat, we're also seeing it, of course, with this extreme cold weather that's severely affecting the US, but Europe as well.
And also this leads me to another question and also a thought that I have, even in the, I would say, short span of my life. I have witnessed firsthand the change of climate. I grew up with winters full of snow in northern Italy, where I come from. Do you experience this change along the course of your life in England? What I mean is this situation normal? Is it colder than usual? What makes it so special?
I think what we're seeing is unusual weather events happening with breaking records. So it was 2000 2013, when the UK had the most rain on record. Then we're seeing the longest cold snap on record. So we're seeing extreme weather events. Now, UK weather wouldn't probably seem extreme to Australia or the States, but certainly for this country, we're seeing record-breaking events happening. And I think that is where we're noticing in our lifetime the climate changing around us. I did not necessarily grow up in the UK. I grew up in Canada, but on record there has been green winters, not the green Christmases, not this year, but so that is unusual for Canada. So we are seeing unusual weather patterns happening all over, and I think that is more indicative of climate change, not necessarily global warming, but climate change that is happening at a rate and events that scientists can't necessarily predict.
And also, Mandy, you said you spoke to persons belonging to the scientific community, and they linked both the extreme weather, the hot weather, and the cold weather. So as counterintuitive as it may be, these are two aspects of the same phenomenon.
Exactly. So it's extreme weather events. So when we change the climate, we are changing certain things, as they pointed out, as the jet stream that really controls a lot of Europe's weather. We're changing currents in oceans, and that also has great effect on weather. So the events and what the humanity has done to the environment is affecting the weather in ways that simply are not put in a computer model that can be predictive. So no one has expected these extreme weather events, but we're seeing them more and more.
Thank you very much. This was our bureau chief in London joining us on the broadcast tonight, Mandy Clark, to talk about the cold wave that is choking and strangling, I would say, Europe, and not only, even the US and China, as we have seen. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mandy.